Good morning, everyone. So my project is AWS Lambda Layers for code reusability. Now we will jump into the code. So let's now create the code for the Lambda Layers. I'm using VS Code as my ID, but we can use any of the IDs of our choice. For including the library dependencies in a layer, you do have to follow a specific name for the folders. For example, I'm coding using Python. So I will have the folder name as Python. Under that folder, I will create a Python file name account underscore validation.py. Then for the code, I'll create a validate account function. In that, I will pass a parameter as account number for the input. And now I will keep a condition to check if the length of the account number is 10. If the length of the account number is 10, then it will return pass, else it will return fail. Now I will store this Python folder as a compressed zip file in the local computer. Then I will navigate to AWS Retire account and then go to AWS Management Console. And then I will search for Lambda. Then I will click on Lambda. Now I will go to the left panel and click on Layers. Now I will click on Create Layer. So we will name our layer as Validation Layer and give the description as layer for account validation. Now we will upload the zip file from our local computer. So basically we can upload from S3 also, but for this project we are uploading from local computer. We will upload the python.zip folder and then click on open. Then we will choose the compatible architectures and then we will choose the compatible runtimes. For this project I am selecting Python 3.9, but we can use any version of Python. Now we will click on create layer. Now our first layer is successfully created with version 3. Now we will go back to Lambda and then click on functions. After going to functions, we will click on create function. Now we will fill out the form. We'll give our first function's name as create account. Now we will choose the runtime as Python 3.9 and then we will keep the default settings as it is. AWS will create the execution role and click. Now we will click the create function. Now we can see the layers icon. We will click on the layers icon and click on add layer. In this we are having three options as we are using our own layer. So we will click on custom layer and then we will select the custom layer as validation layer and version as 3. Then we will click on add layer. After the layer is added, we can see the one in parenthesis beside the layers icon. Now we will go to the coding section. Okay, so the code inside the layer on the right hand side and our code, Lambda code on the left side. The way you import the code from the layer is you do import and then name of the file. In this case, account underscore validation, and we will import it as validation layer. This layer will check that if the account number is 10 digits or not. If it is 10 digits, then it will return pass and go to the create account function. Then it will check for the create account function's accurate logic. And then if the validation account does not return pass, then it will return bad account number. Then we will deploy the code and click on test and configure the test event. We'll give the test event name as test underscore 1 and go to the JSON script and give our account number variable with the 10-digit account number. After that, we will click on save and then we will click on test again. As we click on test, we can see the output in the output console. The status, it is showing as succeeded. Now we will go to the test tab above the code source. Then again click on test. Now we will expand the details section and we can see the balance as 0, status as active and account number. Now we will again go back to Lambda and click on create function again to create another function. After clicking on create function, we will fill out the form. This time we will give the function name as get account balance. Now we will give the runtime as Python 3.9 and keep the default settings as it is and click on create function. After the function is created, we will click on layers icon and then click on add layer. Out of the three options, we will choose custom layer and then click on validation layer and choose the version as 3. Then click on add layer. Then the layer is successfully added to get account balance. Then we will go to the code source section where there is already default existing code. We'll replace this code with the accurate get account balance code and then we will click on deploy. After the code is successfully deployed, we will click on test. Then we will configure the test event by clicking on create new test event. Then we will give the event name as test_2. Then we will go to the JSON section and give the account number variable with a 10-digit account number as we had previously given. Now we will click on save and then we will test the code again. Now we can see the output in the output console. The test is succeeded with status pass, account number and balance as 1000. We can view the detailed test by going to the test tab and clicking on test. Now we will go back to Lambda and create another function. Click on functions and then click on create function. After that, name the function as update account balance. Now give the runtime as Python 3.9 and then click on create function. Now our last function is also created. We will click on layers icon and then we will add a layer to it. Click on add layers and choose a custom layer option. Then choose validation layer in custom layers and choose the version as 3. Then click on add layer. After we have successfully added the layer, we can see the layers icon with parenthesis 1. Now we will go to the code source section. There is already a default existing code. We'll replace that code with the accurate logic of update account balance and then we will deploy the code. After it is successfully deployed, we will test the code and configure the test event. Now we will give the event name as test_3 and then we will go to the JSON script. There we will give account number variable with account number of 10 digits. And we will give another variable amount with amount 500. Now we will save this test and then we will click on test again. Now we can see the output as succeeded. Now we will go to the test tab and click on test. As we expand the details section, we can see the status as pass and account number and balance as 1500, which is updated. Now we can see that in the layers section, there is one layer that is validation layer. And in the functions, we have created 3 functions: get account, create account and update account balance. Thank you.